Hello and welcome to the EFN YouTube channel. This video is dedicated to the nurses' voice. EFN, which represents 3 million nurses in the EU and 6 million in Europe, through this session wants to give a direct voice to frontline nurses. The aim of this video is to tell through the nurses' voice their experience in the healthcare ecosystem post-COVID-19 pandemic. Through this video, they will themselves tell you what they experience every day and all the difficulties they face in taking care of other people. EFN wants to focus on all the key issues related to the nursing profession. The EFN interviewed Benedicte, that is the ENSA president.
The three top challenges for ENSA. Firstly, there is a shortage of nurses all over Europe, and this means that the different healthcare treatments and offers that can be created are pressed. And also it does give a difficulty for nursing students entering the workplace during clinical practice to get a good experience when they are studying. And this is something that we see is quite common in all countries all over Europe and really important. And this does result in students getting stressed while studying nursing. Another difficult challenge for ENSA is that when we look at how we can actually influence different strategies and everything and the different nursing educations all over Europe, they are quite different. They are created based on the local systems around them, and so creating differences that does manage to impact all of them is hard, because Europe is a large continent with a lot of different countries, different situations and conditions. And so that is something that we see as a challenge as well. And thirdly, students does experience being a nursing student, studying, as quite a challenging experience. They need to learn so much during 3 or 4 years to prepare them to become a nurse, and them being under pressure and the situation around them, their school or the university and the hospital they're in, they are under pressure. It does impact the quality that they will get while they're studying. And so when they end up graduating as a nurse, they might feel that they're not prepared to be a nurse and take on the responsibility that they need. And that is a challenge, because when they go out working as a nurse and they're not quite prepared, they might be so stressed that they realize they need to quit. And so we create a bigger nursing shortage than there already is. So the mentorship relationship between a nurse and a student when the student is in clinical practice is really important. The students spend a lot of time during their course in clinical practice, either in the communities or in the hospital. And if they are following a nurse for this time, that they have this main person that takes the responsibility for them and that shows them and guides them into becoming a nurse, that is quite important that they have. When you are a nurse and you are guiding a student in this mentorship relation, it is important that you see the student that is before you, that you learn who they are and that you're open to them and that you're friendly and warm to them as well. The students can be really afraid of having someone older and more experiences around them, if not that mentor or that nurse is aware of this challenge that the student can experience. There is this power differences that can happen when someone is experienced and someone is a student, and it's really important that the nurse and the mentor is aware of this and is very humble in their position, but also is really focused on guiding the student to find the learning arenas that are important to them. And in that way, I think we can create and assist the students to become really good nurses, and nurses that can trust in themselves and their own knowledge. A lot of European institutions have more or less a direct impact on laws on the national level. For example, the ways to become a nurse are harmonized in the EU, and it's really important that every country has the same high standard. And the nurses, they are crucial in the healthcare that they are working in. And the EU focuses immensely on developing the working conditions they have around them. And it's important that ENSA helps assisting EU and keeping them informed of what is important to the obstacles that nursing students face. We are talking about the problems that are present among the students and informing that to the EU institutions to assist with the better changing of the current situation. So, ENSA, firstly, we do work for what interests the nursing students and our members. And what we have seen is that there are three main topics that come around. One, the nursing education. Two, the workforce and the conditions of being a nurse. And three, the nursing as a profession. And so we do work with the cases that we can find that are relevant to the European political arena at the moment. And currently we have talked a lot about what can make the nursing profession attractive. How can we attract new nurses and nursing students to come and start the nursing course? And how can we retain the nurses that are already in there? And we have quite a lot to say about that. And another thing that is talked a lot about is the mental health of the students and young people. And so then we talk about what is important for students to regain and maintain their mental health while studying nursing. And then we talk a lot about the quality of the education and the quality of being in clinical practice. So that are our three political priorities. So my plans are, firstly, that I'm going to start working. I'm done studying, so now I'm going to start working, and I'm really interested in the psychological and addiction kind of arena of nursing. But I was still continuing on as the president of ENSA with the board that I have today. There are quite many amazing and exciting projects that we have created for ourselves, and I want to keep strengthening this organization as we have done for the last year to make sure that we really can impact the European arenas and the nursing profession today. It's quite fun to work with nursing students and early career nurses, as I have done, and the ways that we work is quite fascinating. So I will keep on doing this for at least some time more until I'm ready to throw in a towel and let someone else take over the torch. Thank you, and thank you for your time. This is amazing that you're creating a project where you're doing podcasts to really show the different ways of nursing and nursing empowerment and advocating. We, as ENSA, have always been a close partner of EFN and work closely with you and with Paul, who's the General Secretary, and this is great. Thank you so much for the experience.
These stories highlight all the critical issues related to the nursing profession. Nurses are the backbone of the healthcare system, and without them it risks collapsing. Thank you for following this video, and remember, nurses' voice matters.